I'll turn my volume up. I will turn y'all's volume up. And what? All right.
I saw Kane glare, and I thought he was going to do it, and I'm looking at Kane in my end of the Hangouts.
I'm squinting at a character sheet.
Squinting at a character sheet in Roll20.
What does this do again?
I don't know. You have the fire resistance, but only sometimes.
All right. Well, greetings and salutations, travelers. I'll adjust a few things while you guys are watching, so don't pay attention to that, you guys that watch this back. But things were just a little bit out of line for my taste. Now that's better. Greetings and salutations, travelers. Welcome back to the end of Planar Crossroads, and welcome back to Rise of the Runelords. Redux.
Woo!
That's what we're calling it.
It was a little phlegmy there. The Runelords.
Runelords.
Yeah, we're fighting the Runelords.
Oh, they're French. I hate them even more now.
We're fighting Mucinex demons.
Oh no, they're all elves.
We're fighting his elves. Great.
But welcome back. First, our disclaimer. This is an adult podcast that sometimes features adults that use adult language. You have been warned.
Thanks, Dad.
The Pathfinder has spoken. Our current session for Rise of the Runelords Redux is episode 1. So this is a full episode. Last time we just did like a chat about what everybody was bringing. That's changed a little bit because some players have character ADD. But aside from those slight changes, we are ready and raring to go. And we're getting back into the Runelords, which should be fun. We're picking up, as we said before, right after everything has happened, and we're coming into the next module. So we are about halfway through at level 10. Let me see. Oh, fiddlesticks. I left the giveaway out in the car. I'll have to get it for the next recording. But we do have a giveaway that we're going to be giving away. We'll have people get ready for it, and then we'll give it away next month. And what it is a Rick and Morty conversion book for Dungeons and Dragons 5e. So, for those of you that do play D&D 5e, and you are a fan of Rick and Morty, there's a little source book that they just put out that is a conversion for you to be able to play Rick and Morty in Dungeons and Dragons 5e. So, I haven't even opened it and gotten to look in it, but the cover art looks pretty cool. Get your plumbuses and get ready to go.
What was this face you were making, Tommy? Ah!
I was gonna go oh geez, Rick, but say oh geez, Adam. But
Oh jeez, Adam!
It's not a big deal, Tommy. Just a giveaway.
Just giveaway. See, I can do that now, and Kane can't get mad at me. I'm in character.
No, you better not start snorting in character.
Skoros has this really bad snort.
Skoros' last name is Sanchez. I've neglected to tell anyone.
Skoros Sanchez. No, I don't know. Skoros doesn't strike me as the type that would pull off the Sanchez.
Or have that much intelligence.
All right. But that is all of our announcements. Is there any announcements from Black Dragon Gaming side?
There are not. Not that I can think of that people don't already know, like, super a lot of.
Okay. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and reintroduce our characters just real quick. So, we have Egor Bramblepot, who is...
Egor!
Egor. Oh, Egor Bramblepot, who is a halfling brawler, not brawler,
Barbarian.
Barbarian. Strongman from the circus.
Strongman from Golden Road, amazing circus and traveling menagerie.
Yes, this would be good. I will enjoy. Of course, I'll have to watch it because I'll roll everything into one accent again if you start throwing me off. But that's what Kane's playing.
Do you want more? Are we moving on?
If you have like 5 minutes to blurb or a minute blurb.
I mean, I don't have like a comedy set done up, but
I wouldn't put it past.
That's your own fault, man.
Yeah,
I wouldn't either.
Everybody else has one. What's up? I'm going to be playing Egor Bramblepot. He's a halfling barbarian with I don't know, a little circus flair on there. He's a strongman that worked with the same circus that Magpie traveled with before level 1. And he's at both the behest of Magpie and the circus. He has come down to sort of help out Magpie and investigate, like why they're gone and where they're going, and what the ongoing problem that they were dealing with.
Okay. Now, I forget. Did you say he did or did not read the letter that Magpie was supposed to get from him that's from his family?
I mean, the metagamer in deep in my heart says yes. But I feel like he tried to read it and like the ringleader just like slapped his hand hard and like magically sealed the letter, so now I can't open it.
Ooh. I can live with that. It just pester you the whole time you have it. The whole time.
He's definitely tried to like open it with an axe.
Lord of the Rings right there.
Yeah, it just shattered Gimli's axe on the ring.
All right. Next, I tried to go alphabetical, but I had to rearrange the thing. So Boldrago is the one that is next to say what they are playing. So Boldrago is played by Alex. And I'm not sure. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have to get used to the name, dude.
Right. So I don't have the picture that I have in my head, but he's basically this like 6 feet tall, or 6'6" actually tall, just pitch black skin, like illuminatingly white eyes and just white hair. He has like facial tattoos of like stars, like inlaid silver in his skin, basically.
Oh, cool.
And he's very scrawny.
Tall, thin, and spindly, but looks like he can mess you up, I guess, with all those eyes things and this sparkly tattoos. And
yeah, and he's basically wearing like a full like dress that goes all the way down to the ground.
Okay.
As in a robe, but it's a dress.
As in a robe, not like cross-dressing dress, but dress like it's a dress, cultural dress. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. That does actually paint a very interesting picture. Oh, we might have to do some art for that. Though I'm not sure I'm good enough to do the whole sparkly tattoo art.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it when I got the time and the energy.
Fair enough. I believe
So far I haven't had both at the same time.
Such is life. Alex, what race are you? I heard 6'6" and dark skin, and my head went to the orc.
No, he's an ass.
MR.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
And for those
He's playing an awakened donkey shaman.
Mm-hmm.
For those wanting kind of some metadata, that means he's Azamar and he's playing, I think you said shaman. Did you stick with shaman?
Yeah, he's a shaman.
Okay.
A heavens shaman.
So are you this will help me this will help me get an idea of where he fits in, because Alex is pulling a Kane this time. He doesn't have a backstory fully fleshed out, so
They make up for it with personality, very complex, funny voices.
Literally all of Kane's characters ever, for any reason.
Quickly distract him with funny voices and jokes.
I mean, I won't say that it doesn't work.
It stops me from having to do writing.
That's homework assignment. No homework assignment. Talk about the humpat. That's a Russian food, if you don't know.
I graduate high school. I never go back. No more homework for kids.
All right. So Boldrago is... We'll get to Boldrago when we do. And I think I have a way we can incorporate him into that if you guys don't decide that you want him in one of your backstories. I do have a way to work him in. Next, Brasut Runemane. Or is it Brasut?
I've been pronouncing it Brasut.
Brasut Runemane. Okay, so you are...
A dwarven wizard. I have a very nice monkey. His name... He is a Zhao, and his name is Zhao, but in Dwarven, because I never taught him how to speak that, and I didn't want to let him know that my name for him was literally just a species, because I wasn't being very creative that day.
Okay.
My monkey speaks more languages than most of you. So that's nice. Well, rights.
All right. And to my understanding, you're playing the crafter this time around.
Very much so. It's real nice. I've gotten to spend a good time looking into magic item crafting rules. I make sure to have minor creation and fabricate for if I don't want to deal with making like some normal non-magical stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And on easy for me to make wondrous items and magic arms and armor, I can make 10k worth a day.
Okay.
Because I'm min-maxed, but specifically for downtime.
Okay. Well, you will be pleased to know that we are still employing what we did last time to make crafting manageable. As far as cash goes, is that you can learn a ritual to degrade items into dust. You've heard about it, into magical dust that can then be used during the crafting process. However, you haven't found a way to learn this just yet. You will have to find an NPC of some kind to do
okay. That is very nice.
All right. Let me see that. And now we already did Egor. Now we have Jason's character, Kellery.
Yes, I'm playing a dwarven investigator alchemist. Actually started out as an alchemist, then from canon, and he was pretty bored with things and made the mistake of going to Green Gold, which is the half-elven city, and realized that, hey, you can do things on fast speed. After which he hit the road, and he's only been doing that for a little bit. He's 102 years old now. But he's been all over the place. Druma, Andoran, Osirion, Katapesh, Multhun, Ustalav, Lastwall, Kadira, and Absalom. About 2 years ago, Kellery, and I guess I should get this out of the way, technically his full name is Kelletheril Lahorri.
Okay, you're going to type that in your character sheet so that...
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So he goes by Kellery with just about everyone. But, yeah. He roams about doing all sorts of things: alchemist, cartographer, doctor, detective, whatever catches his interest at the time. As far as why he's here in Sandpoint, about 2 years ago, he met Brasut Runemane at a symposium on ancient Thassalon given by the Pathfinder Society on Absalom. The Cipher Lodge in Riddleport had basically offered selected attendees a chance to spin a 1 spend 1 year to study and honestly see if they're worth having as members. And because we both had an interest and we, had done minor work in Absalom together, we decided to team up. We went up there, but about all we got to do was minor translation work. So kind of got boring for us. And any minor discoveries we did get kind of got office sniped by the supervising archivist. And so when the year was up, we don't know whether they would have offered us places, because we got a message from Quink to come down to Sandpoint. And we both knew him academically. I personally had gotten his help to decipher some ancient Osiriani alchemical script. But at this point, it's up to you, Mr. GM. If we met the circus on the way to Sandpoint, I don't know if it's there yet, because if so, we would have joined up for mutual advantage. They get some services at good prices, and we get a bunch of extra crossbows to cover our trip.
Okay. So you guys may have met up with this menagerie that was on its way to Sandpoint. Yeah.
And I'm also a veterinarian, so...
Point?
What was that?
I said, are we saying the circus came all the way down to Sandpoint?
No. I'm not doing a whole Carney version of voices just to satisfy your strongman fantasy, okay?
Look, hey,
not
man,
this
it's
time.
not fantasy. It's my everyday
It's his
life.
reality. You've seen the man.
I'm so incredibly strong.
All right. But sounds good. So that means that both we got 2 dwarves actually in our party then. Okay.
I'm actually only 99.
Oh.
This is unprecedented. Not only do we have a dwarf, we have more than one.
No, we don't. Who's the other dwarf?
Levi's character.
Kellery and I are both...
Keller's an elf, I thought.
Elf.
Okay,
Oh,
you
the
said
opposite
I
dwarf.
thought you
dwarf.
said dwarf earlier. Okay.
Though I will say it is Alex that has broken the chain. I thought we would have everybody play core races. Nope.
No. I wasn't going to
Not
make
quite.
everybody play core.
I don't think you would. I just think it would be hilarious given all the bloat and last round's Runelords where here is a kitsune.
Yeah, here's a tiefling and a kitsune and a tango and a...
Oh my!
Tieflings and Kitchenade, Tengu, oh my.
Stealth.
Wait, that's just Chen Sha all over, so.
Yeah,
All right.
that's accurate.
And Tengu is one of my languages.
Oh, that might come in handy. Of course,
So
they
if
speak
Kellery
mainly...
starts just squawking for no reason, we know why.
So
It's
is
funny,
reading lips.
Their language is probably just a bunch of onomatopoeia mixed in with cha. Like sound effects mixed in with cha. Or with cha.
I mean, well, maybe.
Because they'll go don't have enough ching yet. Need more bling. Stuff like that. All right. So,
Bump, crack, wah.
so that is Kellery, and they all are headed up. Well, we're gonna pick up where you guys have made it to Sandpoint. Next up is technically Mattia, or however you want to say that.
My familiar?
Yes, in the alphabetical, but we're going to go to the person whose familiar that is, and that is Skoros of Sandpoint.
I was going to be really honored if I had to, I guess not honored, also on the spot, if I quickly have to. Here's my animal companion's backstory. I'm really paying for that 4 int. Okay, so I guess first things first, I'm happy to be back. I will say it formally on the channel, I regret what happened in broken universe. I'm a horrible human being. Thank you guys for taking me back into your lives. And I will follow it up by saying I'm basically blatantly just playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This time, if I don't say Skoros of Sparta at any point, like I'm pretty sure I will, is what I'm driving at. But Skoros is a Varisian brawler. Like I said in one of my min-maxing videos and in our session 0, this is my, like, I want to see if I'm good enough at Pathfinder to play a brawler and play one well. Skoros was born, like, just outside Sandpoint. His family was part of, like, the traveling Varisian caravans, and when he was born, his parents, who, as far as he knows, still live in Sandpoint, decided to assimilate into, like, the Chelish culture, leave everything behind, and raise, like, the white picket fence lifestyle, right? Keep the kid away from all the dangers and stuff. Skoros has had, like, the spirit of the wanderer, basically, his whole life, and as a child, it manifested as, like, lashing out at his elders, fights with other kids, things like that. So when he was around, like, 15, to try to tie as many backstories in as I could from OG Runelords, Skoros' parents sent him to Magnemar to, like, enroll him in the Church of Iomade, hoping they would, like, straighten him out. And through what I've called in my backstory, through boot camp, basically, Skoros has realized he's good at fighting, he's good at improvising, he's good at, like, wrestling, things like that. But Skoros also likes to sleep until noon and drink all night and do whatever he wants. So basically, as soon as he came of age, he ran off. I don't know if there's, like, a dishonorable discharge in there somewhere. I've given you so much ammo. But ran off to try to find his grandfather, who, to, like, the thing about Pathfinder is the age gap is sometimes kind of weird, given that, like, if your grandpa is an Azamar, your grandpa can be 80, 90 years old and still be, like, God, for lack of a better word, an adventurer. Come to find out, when Skoros left and started, like, bouncing from caravan to caravan, that his grandpa had run into some trouble with the Varisian crime gang known as the Zarni. So Skoros dropped his last name, changed it to Skoros of Sandpoint as his, like, formal, that is who I am. Then rapidly realized that there were a lot of people in the caravans who, like, needed help, would pay for bodyguards, etc., etc., etc. And, like, Skoros might not like fighting, but he is good at it. So basically has spent the last 10 years bouncing throughout Avestan from caravan to caravan as a, like, mercenary slash bodyguard slash monster hunter, etc., 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 until one fateful day when Desna sends a servant, a Auspice Falcon animal companion, down to him to, like, basically deliver the message that he needs to get back to Sandpoint right now because Desna says so, and so he has. I'm not sure exactly. I know, like, Ross and I had talked about some stuff. I know Kane and I, like, the three of us had talked about, like, having come together, and I certainly could see it. Despite my 9 charisma, Skoros is probably the most, like, friendly and amicable character I've ever played. As long as you're not, like, horrible to your fellow man, Skoros can probably tolerate you. Okay. And yeah, that's what I'm playing.
Fair enough.
You guys get to watch me do homework on YouTube.
He makes me think of like a Varisian Mad Mardigan.
Yeah, actually, I was flipping around through a lot of the lore and stuff, or not lore, excuse me, the journals that we have for our past characters. Worth noting, I regret never meeting Joel because his character seemed like a lot of fun, and he kind of seems to land like Alan's lifestyle meets Sheehan's, like, stand up for yourself, basically.
Okay.
Which I did not mean to do, but there we are.
Fair enough. And speaking of Ross, you got the privilege of the last introduction. So, tell us about Willton Dersenal.
Wilton Dersenal is also a Vajrani. Unfortunately, he falls into the camp of those who travel the caravan without his family. He doesn't know what happened to him, but from what he understands, his parents, unlike Sclerosis, decided to try and fight for their
Excuse
culture.
you.
He's got multiple sclerosis.
Oh, God,
and
now
he
I'm
did
having
say
bad
in the
memory.
chat that I should play a summoner. Just make another me. Multiple sclerosis.
Oh God. But yeah,
I'll sunder your
family-
spine.
fought back and were killed for the most part. So for the most part, he was raised as an orphan in the caravans and just kind of drifted from caravan to caravan. Eventually, along the way, he started to pick up that he was good at magic, just innately. He doesn't know how or why, but once he started to pick it up, he read on it more and more, and it seems as though there is a history of lineage of magic behind him. So one that would suggest that the Dersenal name is more than just, your average farmer, which brings the questions of how they died, which has kind of been Wilton's sort of major influence or major adventuring cause. He's been looking into figuring out the events of which caused his parents to die and all of that. And as he's looked more and more and more, he's found that no one knows, even the people that told him his original, basically the people that told him that his parents had died in this sort of conflict, admitted that they never heard that firsthand themselves, that they received that from another caravan who just happened to have Wilton on it. He was like, "Can you take this baby? He cries a lot, and we need you to feed him." And that's sort of just passing around until he ended up in one or two nice people's arms and found himself being raised. Bit of a self-preservationist. He just tends to be someone who does not like playing with others, with the exception of his good friend. Tommy, how do you say your name again? I'm going to say it wrong.
I understand completely. Skoros. And we're not Vudrani. Vudrani was a simple job. We are Verizian. Though I will admit, for about 8 months, I called it.
You better get it right.
I'm not good at the names. I'm not good at the names. But yeah.
Fantasy names are hard.
Oh my God. And I have trouble with regular names. But for the most part, kind of just helped. Tommy, I'm just going to say that for now. I'm going to have to practice it a bit with my mic off. It's just kind of worked with Tommy's character for the most part and did odd jobs in that sort of regard. Trying to look into the history of his family's name. Last he checked, he doesn't have any reason, but he kind of thinks a similar theme a lot of the stories have told is that the caravan that he originally came from had come down from around the Sandpoint area. So geographically, that is potentially where the origin of where he could have come from been, which then kind of also contradicts the story of how his parents died. He's very confused, needless to say, and is just kind of wandering. So when his good friend is like, "Hey, I'm going to go to Sandpoint because apparently this goddess called me and I have a falcon now, caca," I'm just kind of like, "Oh, okay, let's do this thing." And kind of went along.
Okay. And to my remembrance, you both are human.
Yes.
Okay.
That is correct.
That's as good an end character recounting of someone else's beginning of adventuring as I think I've ever heard.
Boom.
I mean, that is how I would.
I should go somewhere else, so I have a bird now. Caca.
I'm actually not a human. I'm playing a were-raptor skinwalker.
Oh
I wouldn't
God.
put it past you. All right.
Birds of war. Sorry, I had to.
I'm actually the bird. The man is my companion.
No, that's the wizard.
Yeah, that's the wizard. All right. So everybody has been introduced. Now we come to the game itself. And we're going to pick up on the 19th of Callistril, which is February for those curious. So winter has delayed your arrival to Sandpoint for a while, but you finally did make it on the 17th. Not much has been going on because Sandpoint has been kind of covered in a bit of snow lately. But it's the 19th and the snow has drifted off. The warm air has started to drift upward for promising an early spring. However, you guys are not sure what all you guys are going to do together, where would you guys have stayed? Would you have stayed at the Rusty Dragon? Or where? I will bring up the handouts for you now.
The Rusty Dragon definitely would have been in one of Magpie's letters.
Indeed.
It's probably also like the only place in town, isn't it? Isn't Sandpoint like real small?
No,
No.
there's the Rusty Dragon, there's the Hagfish, and then there's one more, I think.
No, fair enough. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a port town. It's small, but it's not that small.
Okay.
But if everybody went along with, I guess, with Egor, there it is. Egor's,
It's like Egor waffle, but with an R on the end.
Egor, yeah. Lego my Egor. Okay.
Lego my Egor punches.
So, you guys are, I suppose, if you wanted to be, staying in the Rusty Dragon, and coming in and out of town, relaying information over this past day or so has been a individual who is very tall, pitch black skin, and markings of celestial nature on his skin, and he frequently comes down to the Rusty Dragon to relay information to Amiko, who you guys have not only rented your room from, but talked with and things like that. And all in all, it's been fairly quiet this particular time. Now, you guys have a day that you can kind of familiarize yourself with everyone here in town if you wish. And this is probably the first day that, not necessarily the first day that you could go see Quink, but this is probably the best day to go see Quink, because he's usually in bed most of the day when it gets cold and wet and snowy. So he is a frail human, short-lived.
Well, I would definitely think it good to go talk with him, especially since he's sent for us.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, okay. He did not send for all of us. I do not think so. Did he send for all of us?
No, but he sent for Kellery and I.
Okay, that
Do I
makes
know who
much
that
more
is?
sense. I do not know why old sick man would need, well, maybe to move furniture or I imagine he probably has difficulty with the heavy things. Bone.
Adam, do I know who Brodert is?
Brodert, let me see, how old is your character?
25. I left town at 15.
Yeah, you wouldn't have known. He had moved in there. He lives up near the old light, and he had moved in there before, done a little bit of studying and stuff like that there, but you also know that by the time that you left, he had started to get a little bit odd in his, I guess in his ways. Not necessarily just set in his ways, but odd. So, yeah.
Okay. I guess also relevant follow-up question. In the time, like I don't necessarily want to go seek him out, but do I hear anything about my parents? Or like if I go past where my parents' house was, does it appear they're still there?
It does not appear that they are there. In fact, they say that your parents, not long after you left, they had moved. They appreciated living in Sandpoint. They liked it, but there was always something bitter about the house. When people would come over, they would feel it was a bit tense, and they sold it to one of the guards who recently passed away, and yeah, they don't live there right now, but they they didn't leave a forwarding address or anything like that. That's not really a thing in that particular sense, but they didn't really leave that. But they probably did not leave Varisia either. They talked about...
So the house is presently unoccupied?
Presently it is unoccupied. Your childhood home is presently unoccupied.
Yeah, I heard the last guy really blew his top.
Yeah.
I can't think of a Vargol pun, but it's there somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, he lost his head, and...
Yeah, there it is.
It
Boom.
It was a real whole scary situation. Unfortunate for him and his young wife. So
for the life of me, I can't think of that guy's name. I wasn't in Runelords yet, but I did watch it. Gideon's friend. Mm-hmm. Blank.
Yeah,
okay, fair enough.
Either.
D. It began with a D. Dylan, I think.
Yes, that was it.
All right.
Dylan something. Okay.
Daryl, Dwayne.
Johnson. No. So, you guys are down here. I think 38 on your little printout is on your little Sandpoint map is where the Rusty Dragon is. Way up here by the old light is where Brodert is. So, you guys have that all happening and going on. If you guys want to go visit Quink, you can, or you guys can wait at the tavern for Magpie to get back, or you can inquire when Magpie is getting back, or all those different things. It's up to you guys. I'm letting you have a bit of a day to familiarize yourself with the area. So,
okay.
Okay.
I think I would definitely ask when Magpie's getting back. I was planning to kind of stay at the inn, at least for a little while. I think Egor is just like carb loading. He's just got like a like in an already comically large turkey leg, but in his hand even more so.
Fair enough. All right. And to my understanding, the elf and the dwarf are going to head up to visit Quink. Okay. What is Skoros and... Oops. There we go. Skoros and Willton, what are you guys doing?
I guess Skoros will... We've been here a day, you said?
Yeah, you arrived late, because you arrived late in the day on the 17th because of the snow and the nastiness, and it hadn't really melted off till today.
Okay, makes sense. So I suppose, to establish this, Skoros' animal companion is, again, I'm basically playing the newer Assassin's Creed, just, nebulously above me, unless we're in combat. And Skoros will, as we're all, talking about this, just jump outside and she understands common, but I'm also kind of just assuming she's watching over me. So a hand with a leather bracer around, the arms kind of goes up like this to, look up and maybe whistle a little bit, call her down to me.
Okay.
And as she arrives, just, what am I supposed to do? I do not understand. Why are we here?
And now she can communicate with you, if I remember right?
She understands common and has 4 intelligence. She has nothing that says she can't communicate with me, but it's up to how far 4 int gets you.
Okay. Well,
4 int and being a servant of a deity.
So that's enough to know basic writing, a basic few symbols. So she, in a way that's been familiarly established to you up to this point, since you're kind of trying to get the feel for this new animal companion, hasn't been with you forever. It's one of those things you guys are working out this communication. She puts a symbol on the ground that kind of looks like the Varisian word for wait, and that's what she does.
Okay. Wait for what? Can you tell me more?
She cocks her head, kind of moves it around with her foot. She scratches again in the dirt, and it looks kind of like the word for sign.
Okay. Wait. Sign. I understand. So I'll go back into, I assume the squad is in the Rusty Dragon. Just, elf, dwarf. I'm sorry, I do not remember your names. I can take you to Broder's house if you would like. Looking at Kellery and Brasut, because I remember their names, because I'm not horrible.
Sorry, give me 2 seconds to pull up the skills because
Sense motive.
You got it.
Yeah.
Oh, the inter-party rolls already happened.
Oh, yeah. It's because you traveled with him for 2 years.
Okay.
It takes somewhere near that much. Not traveled per se, but been around with. I kind of. It'd be up to you, Jason, if we had in a link on the video our actual contract that our characters have signed.
Okay.
That'd be kind of that sounds like a fun little tidbit for people to be able to look at.
We might put that up if I get that information.
I
So
can
eventually
send you a copy, unless you've changed it any, Jason.
No.
Or intend to change it.
If we need, I'll send it as it is now, and we can polish if needed.
Okay. So he doesn't have to sense motive on me because my the Oathbind spell will literally tell him if I'm trying to lie.
Okay.
Yes.
Because we have a clause in there about not attempting to deceive the other.
Okay.
Deceiving anyone else as well. Something entirely different.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
The 27 lets you know that I assume it was for Skoros.
Yes.
Skoros, you're pretty much telling the truth, right? I mean, you're just going to take them where they want to go.
Yeah, I'm not trying to conceal anything. I'm just a local and probably know the fastest way.
And you helped them get here, so.
Mistrustful does not mean unwise.
Yes.
I look at Brasut, shrug.
Good enough for me.
Then it is settled. Willton, will you come with us? You're very quiet. I'll go as they're gearing up, I'll go sit next to him.
I said just kind of I imagine I've just kind of been nearby drinking. I've just not had much to say, Miss Oldfriend. You were in there doing your strange dance with your bird again, and I don't really... What happens between you and Desna is your own way of worshipping and following her footsteps, friend.
Skoros will nod and clap Willton on the shoulder. Maybe a little too hard. Just, good. Well, come with us if you would like. I will show you the town. If you would like to stay here, I'm sure... And, is it a particular busy day at the inn?
Actually, there aren't a lot of people in the inn because everybody is glad to be able to get out of the inn right now because it's been kind of snowed in since for the last day or so.
That makes sense. In that case, Skoros probably feels exactly the same way. And on that, I will turn and start leading Brasut and Kellery in the direction of Broder's house.
All right. The second we get outside, I will summon a horse to get up and ride over because I am a slow walker.
Because Runemane walks nowhere. I ride. Okay. Fair enough.
So that way I could afford it. Instead of slotless, I have a pair of gloves and it casts a caster level 1 mount spell.
Nice.
Okay.
And that's how we drove our cart.
You save so much on feed and lodging.
Over years, yeah.
All right. So, I am hearing that let me see, that Brasut, Kellery, Runemane, Skoros and Willton are going off and about to visit Quink. Is Egor going with, or is he still carb loading?
I don't want to be left behind.
Why can't you do both? Just take the plate with the spaghetti and walk. It'll be fine.
Hey, can I just get this doggy bag? Don't worry. I just like put a gold piece on the table and I pick up the plate and I start to leave.
Amiko says, that better get back here. I don't
It
care who
will.
your friend is.
Goodbye.
I don't care if you're friends with that bird or not. Amiko. So, that happens. Now, as you guys journey across town, we're going to cut to Boldrago. Now, Boldrago, you have kind of been up here, not necessarily in town a lot. You've been relaying information back and forth sometimes, mainly to Amiko. But the main portion of your time has been here helping a group of druids that has been watching the area. And those druids have been pretty much keeping a lockdown on the area as far as things going on for in a negative way, things that might harm Sandpoint. But Shalelu and some of the druids had gone off to scout around and stuff like that, closer to the foothills and things, and they haven't come back yet. And you're kind of discussing that with one of the leaders, one of the remaining leaders that were there of the druids, when you hear a snap of a tree and you look over and there's a stone giant there with a big, wide, toothy stone grin.
Like how far away? Up in a tree?
Not up in a tree. He broke the tree.
Okay.
He looks like a fairly young stone giant. It's easy for you to recognize a stone giant. They look like they're made of stone. So
they're like super huge.
Yeah,
And
like
they're
a
also,
giant.
in fact, giant. Yeah.
but he pushes that over, and you see him. And he says, "Ooh, a pre-raid snack."
I'm gonna eat you.
No.
How far away is he?
Close enough that he's gonna smash some people in a minute.
Oh.
They got here really quietly somehow, because make me a perception check as you guys start to look, as all the druids that had kind of come together in this little moment start to look around. Oh.
31.
31. So as you see the stony pores on his face, you also see that behind him is a large number of stone giants. You think somewhere around 12. And there's this glimmer of red behind them that you can't... Well, no, that's not there. There's this... it's not red, it's a kind of a shimmer on one of their... One of them has this large pick-looking thing, a pick-looking weapon, an appropriately sized war pick, you'd guess, and it has this shimmer to it. And he seems to be smiling and ordering the others to. In Giant, do you speak Giant?
No.
Okay, so he orders the others in Giant to do something, and they smile to each other without. They don't yell and hoop, but they smile to each other, and they start grabbing bags and rounding and trying to grab people. So the leader that you had been talking to says, "Sandpoint must know."
Of course. You should come with. This is not safe for you.
Well, that I don't think it is safe for you either. So we'll have to delay them as best we can.
Okay, I shall go.
All right. So we have started a timer for you guys. So how fast is your move speed?
I would probably fly if it's
Okay.
this urgent. 60 feet able. Yeah, should be 60 feet.
Okay. All right. So covering ground that way will make it much faster. Now, we fly forward. We kind of,
Fly forward.
yeah, we fly up, and you fly out. What do your wings look like?
He doesn't have wings. It's more like just his dress is just kind of flopping, like
Okay.
oh, like an octopus.
Oh,
Or a jellyfish.
Yeah, like a jellyfish.
Jellyfish man.
all right. So your robe, and you zoom away, and getting a view like this, you see off with that perception of 31 as you're flying away. You don't just see them and get, yeah, there's about 12. You don't just see them. You see off among the stones and the crags, there's this long red tail attached to a body with big red wings and a head that turns to see you and snorts a bit of fire.
Right.
And you zoom towards Sandpoint. Cutting back to you guys, you are about to enter Quink's house.
Okay, so I guess my first question: during any of our travel / this travel, is Skoros aware that Brasut has a flying monkey?
Yeah,
Almost certainly.
I mean
I
the
am not
monkey
hiding
does
it
all
in any
his
way.
dealings, so it's more like, are you aware that the monkey has Brasut?
A Brasut.
Fair. Just kind of pops out of the beard. Ah! Goes back in. Okay, so when we get where we're going, I can't imagine Skoros wants to be around the creepy old dude. So I guess just like as we get there, turning and looking up at Brasut, just, well, here we are.
Looking up at Brasut?
He's on a horse.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I have one favor to ask.
Eyebrow raise.
Can I play with your monkey?
That sounds like innuendo. Wait up. Wait, I'm almost there. He's
Okay. Well, you should probably ask him that.
Your monkey can... What? Monkey!
What?
The
You
monkey
talk
has gotten
to a
down-
bird, friend. How is this surprising to you?
Right, and just focus on the fact that there's a talking flying monkey at this point. Doesn't
The
respond.
monkey hops down
Yes. So,
and writes in Verizian. Actually, do I know you speak Verizian? Do you
It's
think I would
probably-
found that out?
That's probably a fair assumption given my dress.
Okay. The monkey will write in Verizian. How do you mean play?
I don't know. There is a monkey, and I don't really want to be in. And I'll like I guess, kind of like lean down to like stage whisper at the Zhao, just, Brodert is kind of weird, and I don't really want to be in there. And,
Who's outside?
oh no.
The monkey nods his head and waves
Got
you
it.
away.
And we run.
And he flies.
And I got a
with your
monkey
bird.
friend. Woo.
For now,
What size category is a Zhao, also?
tiny still.
So if you want to figure out a way to put spirited charge on that thing, you have a mount waiting. I'm just saying.
Nope, he's fine.
Oh,
Shall we
I
go
feel
that
bad
way?
for not taking the tumor familiar.
So good. Tumor familiar, best familiar.
You didn't
Indeed.
wanna
So I
play
guess
with-
Skoros' definition of play with familiar, despite everything I am, I have to imagine Skoros is a dog person. I hate this, but I have to imagine that's a lot of like play wrestling and like fetch. It probably takes a little while before I realize this thing's really smart.
Yeah, you go for fetch, and he like raises an eyebrow at you and just shakes his head no.
How do I play with Monkey if Monkey does not fit?
He like picks. He'll actually go over to the stick and then like spark the top of it to have like a little candle.
Do you want to
Friend,
play burn Sandpoint down? No, Monkey, bad Monkey, bad Monkey.
friend, I would
He
advise
writes it down.
you.
No, that's not. I'm just bored.
Oh,
I wasn't gonna
Monkey.
burn anything.
You
It's
can play
fine.
chess with the monkey.
Yeah, as I was gonna say, Wilton will just say, "Monkey, you know how to play chess, checkers."
It'll go back over to Brasut, and we'll pull out my fancy dancy chess set.
Okay.
This is
All
how
right.
to play with his monkey.
Chess with the Monkey. Indeed.
All right.
It's a 125 gold chess set, I should
God.
say.
Is there perchance a combat feat that makes me better at chess?
No.
Can I
Straight up
flex
no.
out chess powers?
Beat the 11 intelligence monkey.
Tactician.
8 and yeah.
There you
Versus
go.
the
You could actually use
10.
tactician. All right.
The
The door to Brodert's house opened. What were you gonna say? Something, Kane?
yeah, I
Is
was
the
just
door
gonna
open?
say I think like I forgot my own name. Egor is like a turn away of movement away. So like as they all shuffle into the house after you say whatever you're gonna say, I think he gets to it and like Brodert is already being old and weird. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to go in there. And that's when he like sort of turns around and sees Skoros and the monkey doing whatever they're doing. I think I'm gonna head that way.
Oh, would you look at that? Runemane, Kellery. I haven't seen you in forever. No way. I saw you yesterday. Come in. How have you been since yesterday?
Just fine.
You didn't see him yesterday. It's been.
I don't care.
It's
I don't know what to do in
Yeah.
this social situation.
Oh, I've taken your face away. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. Oh,
But I have been just fine. So I didn't
Yeah.
lie. I've been just
Fair.
fine since yesterday.
Good to see you, old friend.
And you just look as young and spry as ever. And me, I'm working on raisins. Come in.
Wilton will kind of chuckle as he hears that, probably kind of getting the attention of the older man.
Oh, did you have any more friends? I can make more tea.
I thought you were gonna say I could make more raisins.
why not both? Yeah, I'll try my raisin tea. Ew, no.
I mean, I am not one to turn down a fresh cup of tea. Hello, I am Wilton.
Oh,
Is
hello,
raisin tea
Wilton.
hot grape juice?
Have I met you before?
I do not think so, friend.
Okay. I believe you. Come on.
That was easy. Also, it's
Okay,
worth
then.
noting that Levi had a really good point that the raisin tea would just be hot grape juice.
Well, I mean, is plum juice the same thing as prune juice?
Mm,
I don't know. I don't want to know.
I'm not old enough to answer that
No.
question.
No, it's not. There you
Well,
go.
people drink hot wine, so.
Cat's meat, hot wine.
So,
Egor is juggling.
okay.
I figured I would throw that out. It's one of the things in an entertainer's kit. He's juggling.
Juggling what?
Kettlebells.
Barbells. Oh,
Just 25-pound weights.
Dude is ripped. All right. So, he says, come on in. I'll make some tea. Have you seen my cat?
No.
Your cat. You have a pet?
Yes, it's around here somewhere. Cat? Cat?
I mean, I'll roll a perception check to look for it. Or just quickly.
I'm not certain
Okay.
he actually has a cat personally.
No, he has a cat. It might be dead underneath a couch somewhere, but he definitely has a cat.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Okay,
So we use
I
natural
just
20s.
wasted a nat 20 on a perception check for the cat.
Oh, find that dead cat.
So, it doesn't take long. I mean, you guys look, and as he's walking towards his little stove that he's got a kettle already boiling on, you see that underneath what you would think is his favorite chair is a tail swishing back and forth. Hey, dang cat never listens to me. Ooh. Tea for all.
To be fair, cats don't tend to act like dogs. They're not very good listeners.
What?
At least not commands.
I didn't hear that. Oh, tea's ready. Would you look at that?
Look at what?
Thank you.
Tea.
It's already ready.
Eat.
Thank you, friend. Would you like me? Why don't you sit and I will serve?
Oh, so kind of you, so kind. Always a nice man. What is the elf, Kellery? And he sits down.
Man elf.
Man, elf.
My edge of my lip kind of momentarily twitches upward as in a smirk, but only barely.
All right. As he's walking back, as you're doing your thing, and everybody's starting to sit down that came in for tea, you hear a meow. He says, "Oh, cat! I told you to get out from under my feet." He sits down. You pour the tea. It smells very strong, and is very black.
Yeah, it's probably been on that stove for a while.
Or is it just coffee?
I think maybe it started out as coffee this morning.
And he now thinks it's tea.
I just pick it up, pick up a cup, just say thank you. And when he's not like paying attention to me, just kind of like, hand motions, prestidigitation it into just something sweet and nice to drink and just pray to Desna it's not going to kill me.
Okay.
I'm just gonna drink it.
Okay. It does not taste good.
I assumed.
So what brings you fine gentlemen? Is it gentlemen? Is it gentle elves? Is it gentle? You gentle folks, why have you come to visit me?
You sent us a message to come see you.
I did?
Yes, it was 2 months ago. So,
Oh, do you have the letter?
I should.
Yeah, you have the letter.
I will show him the letter. What reason did it give for him wanting us to come, other than for tea?
He says that he has made a new discovery in an old ruin here in Sandpoint that has ties to the Thessalonian Empire. Wanted your expertise, and that's what he wrote.
Okay. I will switch to speaking into ancient Thessalonian, you said you found something of interest in one of the old ruins, and I'll hand him his letter.
He, without missing a beat, goes, "Oh, did I?" And takes the letter. And he just continues in Old Thessalonian. "Oh, would you look at that? I sure did." No one understands. Only if you speak Old Ancient Thessalonian do you understand what he's saying. "Oh, now it's like I told you though. Oh, that's what it. What art stone? You want some dark Italian?
Adam didn't know the ancient Thessalonians spoke Simlish.
So, they yeah, might speak that. But yeah, he goes over his letter. He actually wrote like a 2 or 3 page letter. And what you think happened is that he started writing the letter, forgot what he was saying, and just kept writing until he got out everything he wanted to get out, just in several paragraphs, in like a 3-page letter.
Can I do a linguistics check because part of that is deciphering secret messages?
Okay.
And this would have affect like us getting to the core point of it would probably happen before we got here today, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how about? Okay, never mind. I was gonna say I ate another, but
another natural 20. I mean, use them up now, man. Because you.
I would also
don't
like to
worry,
point out this is the
coming.
anti-Jason. I don't know who this is, but Jason's not here. This is not how he rolls when games start.
So,
who are you?
Maybe it's just your
Jason?
channel. Maybe it's just your channel.
Yeah, maybe.
See, everybody, come over here and you'll roll well. Unless you're Kane. So, yeah, actually, you don't think it's conscious, but there's some kind of rhyme and reason to the way he forgets and then starts again. And it actually tells you more about what was discovered when you start to kind of look at it a certain way. Brodert's really smart, but his brain and his body don't always keep up with each other. And that's what you're kind of getting. That if you can weed out the stuff that's senile, he's actually got a lot of information stuck in his head that doesn't always come out right. And he's the letter actually does go into more detail. And as he's reading it, he's getting all the detail that he put into it. And you're not when you just cursory read it. He says that, yes, under the old light, there is a Thessalonian ruin has... The word wrath is repeated several times. Some assistance in the translation would be appreciated. And if you would, please also bring Runemane, as his particular set of abilities and familiarity would be well served. And I have unfortunate news for him about the trinket that he made me.
Side note, I also speak Old Thessalonian.
Good to know. Well, that's what he says as he's reading it
Okay.
all.
My trinket?
Oh, yes, your little trinket with the little doors and the golden and stuff like that, and all that stuff I got in the Five Kings Mountains. Yes, that's what it was. I got it there, and you gave it to me. You gave it to me yesterday. I really like it. It is very nice, but it's gone. Someone stole it.
Any idea who?
Nope. Not a clue.
It's not to worry about. It's probably long gone by now.
Hey, you're not here.
No, he's chasing Nualia right now.
But he says, "Yep. No one. And this nice birdman even offered to help me find it, and all. No, couldn't find it."
We've seen the Tengu, correct?
You've seen a Tengu before.
A Tengu here. I'll ask, large, black, about so high,
Oh, that's
says
a
things
Tengu.
like,
Yeah, that's a Tengu.
and in Tango I will say, I'm an idiotic bird.
No, definitely not that.
He didn't say that. As you guys are
I'm
outside
great.
playing, as you guys are outside playing chess with the monkey. Speaking of which, make me a straight intelligence roll for the monkey and for Skoros.
Oh God. Okay, we'll do.
Not too much more intelligent than you.
I have 8 intelligence.
He's only got 10.
Oh, fair. Okay.
Okay, you're gonna win. Look, you rolled bad.
There are circumstantial.
Yeah, he did.
There are circumstantial modifiers, I will say.
Hush
Okay.
you.
Can knowledge history give him a slight bonus?
History of what?
Of chess players.
I was gonna say like military stuff, but I have 1 rank in every knowledge, so that means he has 1 rank in every knowledge. I would, from what I understand of how ranks go from master to familiar.
Yes, he uses your ranks, but his modifier.
Yeah.
So, as you guys are playing, the monkey seems really to be kicking your butt. But once the juggling starts, he seems to glance up that way a bit too often, and so you start to get an edge. You think he's like, but he can't. You know, he's like, those are heavy. How? That's a halfling. How?
And then I reverse order.
So, you start to. You think you got one of his bishops, and you are able to get that. And he's like, wow. And all that's happening. All this is happening at the same time, until you see. You guys kind of glance up, and you see a winged figure come down, not into town, not winged. You see a figure. You've seen him before, fairly recognizable, jet black skin, flying low, and he comes arching down towards the rusty dragon.
Oh, hey, it's Bull's Dragon.
Are his? I don't know. That's why he wears a dress.
Yeah, see, there
You
you go.
should see it. You should see it.
Nobody likes it when you fly because it's just that.
You get a nice draft in there, you know.
Yeah, I like the breeze.
It's very liberating.
All right, but you guys see that, and you know that he usually gives a report. But you can make me some sense motives, and the monkey needs to make a sense motive too.
All right, but I am very bad at this.
I have a lot of ranks in this. Plus,
More like a reading crowd, less reading flying man with open bottom dress.
Yeah, you didn't know that character had a tail, did you? It's on the wrong side though.
Oh, he's got a tail. It's right. It's right in between his legs.
All right.
Oh yeah, it's a 0. 11.
11. Okay. You guys all look. You don't really get anything. I mean, you're paying attention to your juggling, and
He's got one in one hand, and he's just juggling the other two with one hand.
the monkey is too preoccupied with your juggling and having lost a bishop. But Skoros kind of gets the feeling that that's kind of important. And as he glances over to his familiar, it scratches in the dirt sign.
Egor,
Yeah, duh.
go get the others. Meet me at the Rusty Dragon. And
Yeah,
I'm
he
just gonna
drops
take
a
off.
weight and it almost lands on his foot.
He's like,
Whoa. That's
Whoa.
terrifying.
Yeah.
For a bit of reference, how much does Egor weigh?
Egor's only 3'2", but even so, he probably weighs somewhere between like 130, 150.
That is terrifying.
He's got a strength of 18, but he's also wearing muleback cords, so he looks even more jacked.
He looks jacked at the start. You know, every day he puts the mule cords back on. You don't want to sleep in that. So you see him when he gets up, and when he puts them on, it's just like...
Yeah.
Promptly turns into an English bulldog.
He looks like a little tiny Hulk. It's
Indeed.
Like male teenagers when a pretty girl walks by, suddenly, poof.
To be young again and to Hulk out in the presence of women. So yeah, Skoros is gonna just abandon the chess game and start hightailing it for the Rusty Dragon.
Yeah.
Assuming everybody can keep up.
I got a movement speed of 50, so I bet I can get in that house pretty quick.
Exactly.
I bet you can.
Zhao, first thing first, packs up the chess set.
Yeah, that's the important thing.
He's a good monkey. That's a good point. How heavy would the chess set be?
I can grab it on the way back. I am very fast.
I have to think 5 pounds at most for the board.
Okay, good. That's within his light load. Good.
Should I take Monkey? I get halfway to how I think I should help Monkey, and I go back. I pick up Monkey. It just
no. He can lift it and fly because it's under his light load. So you go. You're like, oh, I should help Monkey. You go back, and he's flying towards the house with the chest set in his feet.
Sorry, I'm the only time I'm gonna do it.
Good.
Wrong monkey.
You made that reference. Yes.
All right, I run back to the house, and I come to the door and guys, Skoros, very, very excited. There was a man with tail between legs. It was flying. It was like jellyfish. I think we should leave. It was very bad.
Oh, would you look at that? An entertainer came.
He flexed.
Whoa! Yay, Strongman.
But seriously, we should go.
We should go.
Yeah, it was difficult to be in frame for that.
All right. Oh, we should? Okay, I'll go get dressed. It is only now that you realize he didn't have his actual pantaloons on. It was just a very long nightgown.
Actually,
that's in character for Quink.
Yeah, it is.
Old human academic. Standard social norms do not apply.
Yep. I'll be right down. You go ahead without... Ooh, my lumbago. He says as he's walking up.
It's fine. He'll forget that we were ever even here today by the time he gets back. We should.
Grab the letter and run.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Ooh,
'Cause-
grab the letter and run.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Got you.
All right.
I've never seen Skoros this excited about anything. Normally, it's just, oh, I'm sleeping. Oh, I'm drinking.
Did this bird do something?
All right.
Did this bird do something?
I don't know. It came and flew down on ground. It was scratching. You know how it does that.
Oh, then something interesting is about to occur.
Oh, good. I like the interesting. It's first interesting thing happened as soon as we get in town.
All right, then. Well, we'll cut it here. This is episode 1, everyone. And something that we're doing with this particular recording sessions is that we're going to break them up into about an hour long-ish. This one's a bit more because it's the first. But right about an hour long for our episodes. And then we will cut, let you guys take a break, let us take a quick break, and then we come back to the game. So, for now, have a great day. God bless. Enjoy. And remember that this content is supported by viewers like you. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
And have a pleasant tomorrow.
This content was made possible by travelers and viewers like you. Thank you.